Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a hidden battle in the movie industry. It's a real fight for survival, and it's happening right inside your local cinema.
So, let me ask you something. When you walk into a movie theater, who do you think is actually calling the shots on what movies are playing? The owner? Maybe the manager?
Well, the truth is it's way more complicated than that. There's a high-stakes power struggle going on just behind the silver screen. Let's get into it.
Okay, to really get what's happening, you have to know there are two main players in this game. It's a total David versus Goliath situation.
On one side, you've got the giants. You know them, the AMCs, the Regals. These are massive, corporate-owned multiplexes with 20, maybe 30 screens. But on the other side, well, that's the heart of our story, the local, independent theater, the real mom-and-pop shops, maybe with just 1 or 2 screens to their name.
And don't count them out. There are still over 5,000 of these independent screens running across North America. They are an absolutely vital part of the cinema landscape, but they are facing a huge threat.
So what's at the very core of this whole fight? Well, it comes down to a really powerful studio practice called the holdovers rule. And for a small theater, this rule can be a total death sentence.
So, what is a holdovers rule? It's pretty simple, actually. It's a mandate from a big studio, say Disney, that forces a theater to play one of their movies for at least 2 or 3 weeks. And here's the kicker. It doesn't matter how well it's doing. If it's a complete flop and nobody's buying tickets, too bad. The movie stays.
And this is not a suggestion, it's an ultimatum. Check out this direct quote from Disney to small theaters about their 2025 movie, Tron Ares. Play our film for 2 weeks minimum, or you won't get any of our future blockbusters. For a small theater, that is a crippling, terrifying threat.
Now, to be fair, if you look at it from the studio's point of view, there's a certain logic here. They're pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into these blockbusters. They want to make sure theaters don't just dump their movie after one bad weekend. They're trying to protect their investment. But for the little guy, the fallout can be absolutely disastrous.
And this right here is where the trap gets sprung. I mean, think about it. For a huge 20-screen multiplex, being forced to play a dud on one screen is, whatever, it's a minor inconvenience. But if you only have 1 or 2 screens, it's a full-blown catastrophe.
So let's walk through this no-win situation. A small theater gets forced to play a movie nobody wants to see. They're losing money every single night on empty seats. Then, a brand new blockbuster drops, something like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, that everybody is dying to see, but they can't show it. Why? Because their only screen is still tied up with last week's flop. They completely miss out on the revenue that could have literally saved their business.
But believe it or not, the holdovers rule is just one piece of this puzzle. The financial squeeze on these little guys goes way deeper. It goes all the way down to the price of your ticket.
Okay, so you buy that $15 movie ticket. Where does that money actually go? You might be shocked to hear that a staggering 60 to 65% of it goes straight back to the studio. The local theater, the one that has to pay rent and staff and keep the lights on, is left with just a tiny fraction. And the financial squeeze just keeps coming. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. Maybe the theater wants to show a classic movie for a special one-night event? Well, the studios will hit them with huge fees for that. Some studios like Disney just flat out ban one-off showings of their older movies altogether. All this leaves local theaters with zero cash for essential updates like new seats or better projectors.
So what's the solution here? Well, independent theater owners are finally speaking out. They're arguing that these super strict top-down rules are completely out of touch with how the world works today.
As one manager put it, the rules are stuck in the 1970s. In an age where we have streaming and a million other entertainment options, they're arguing that the system needs to be flexible to survive, not weighed down by more rigid, outdated demands from Hollywood.
Which leaves us with one last big question. With these decades-old rules basically forcing theaters into impossible situations, how long can Main Street cinema actually survive? Can your local theater make it against Hollywood's old playbook?